It's an urban legend.
We're gonna get a bit loose for you guys. Get some self. Is this no? It's not even meditation. Make medication. Jeez. I've actually never tried that whiskey. This whiskey before. No. Okay.
Oh, you rolled too? Sweet.
I already rolled and everything. What up, guys? What up? You know, sometimes I gotta get comfortable and realize that life is good. Is life good? Life is good, Joel.
Life's always
Huh?
good. Not always, but life is always good. If you're alive and you're feeling things, it's good, man.
You think
Even
so?
if those things are sad, it's good.
But like, what are those things that make you sad? Just like death.
Yeah, just, regular things that make everybody sad. Just life. Can't have happiness all the time, otherwise you're not going to know what happiness is, right?
How do you appreciate the sunset, the sun without some rainy days?
Exactly.
Cheers.
Buddy.
Cheers,
Enjoy.
everybody.
Cheers, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's good stuff.
To be honest, this is probably like the second drink I've had on the rocks. I don't really like to drink like
Hard liquor
like
straight
hard
like
liquor.
that?
Yeah. The only hard liquor I've ever drank straight was probably like Crown Royale, or not even hard liquor,
Well,
Hennessy.
I don't like Crown Royale straight.
Yeah.
But this, like, give it some time for the ice to melt, dude.
Right.
It's good.
No, like my boy, one of my homies actually, he drinks on the rocks, and like I've tried it, and I realized like you do get more drunk.
Yeah. If you drink it, if like you start sipping really fast, yeah, for sure, get you there.
Damn. What else do you enjoy on the rocks?
This is the only drink I really drink on the rocks. Glenfiddich 12 year. It's the
Right.
only thing I really drink on the rocks. Yeah.
Right. Let's check if we get some gain on this. But yeah, bro, just this is a simple conversation, not too big. You've already been on mic, all that good stuff. I don't have to tell him what's up. He already knows what to do.
Yeah.
By the way, this is Kyle, everybody. Hi.
Hi. Nice to not see you all, but meet you all.
To whoever's gonna fucking watch this or listen to this, listen. Once again, my motto is: if you see me, you see me. If you don't, you don't.
How it is.
This is not for you. This is for me and for him. At the end of the day, and this is for us. But yeah, I guess today's episode is really about Japan, and
yeah.
I don't want to bring too much about what it is. I want you to explain who you are first,
Sure.
and a bit about your Japan experience.
Yeah. So my name's Kyle, as he said. I've been interested in Japan since I was maybe, I want to say like before 10. I want to say like 8 or 9 years old. When I watched my first I watched Pokemon for the first time, and I didn't thought it was just another cartoon, right?
Yeah.
And my mom, who was interested in Japan at the time, actually like explained to me, no, this is like a Japanese show. They just translated it, and I was just blown away. I was like, what do you mean, like they translated it to English and broadcast it here? She's like, yeah. I just, from my age at the time, I was blown away by that, and it got me hooked on it right away. And as I grew older, I got really into history, and my major in university is history, so I got really into that, and I got into Japanese history a lot just from that, just from being interested in it at a young age. Now that's not like what I know the most about. I know the most about like European, Roman, and British history. That's what I mainly studied.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that revolves around how the West became to be the West, right?
Right.
So, but I did study a lot of that, and that got me really interested in going to ski there.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I visited for the first time, I'll get into that, into my first visit there. But once I visited there for the first time, I just knew, I was like, I need to live here for some time. I need to experience like being a part of this community, not just like part of Japan, but the community like itself, like living in this part of the country, this part of the city, growing to grow closer with my neighbors and like the community around me. So I took a lot of part in like community events and everything, and like cleaning up the community. Which is like, it's a standard thing that everybody does. It's not mandatory. It's just everybody does it there.
Damn. So at a very young age, like your mom was just like, "Yo, this is what it is,"
Yeah, exactly.
Did your mom ever like watch anime, or did she ever like have?
No, she wasn't interested in that part of Japan, but she knew it was Japanese.
Right.
And my grandma is actually the one who got my mom interested in Japan. So my grandma's been interested in Japan since like before I was born.
Yeah, so this is passed down basically.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Now my dad's side never had any interest in that side of the world at all. They just like, my dad loves Scotland, Ireland, and all that. He goes there all the time, but
Right.
He's never been to Japan. I'm the only person in my family who's been there.
Damn.
So yeah.
So how do they feel when you go to there, and how do they feel when you've been there? You know?
Every time I get on the plane to go there, my mom cries, dude. She's like, "Oh, when are you coming back?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be back. Sometimes I'll be back in like a month. I'll be back in a few weeks." But
how come they've not been out there?
I don't know, man. I've tried to get them out there. It's a long flight.
Right.
My mom, since like, my mom just doesn't like long flights like that, and my grandma is, she's really old now, so she can't go out there. But I've definitely I vowed to myself, I'm bringing my mom there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm bringing my mom there.
Damn. So yeah, let's talk about your first trip. Yeah, how was it like, just being out there and just like seeing it for the first time, right? Because I'm sure from TV shows, anime, you probably were just wondering like, there's probably gonna be a lot of anime out there, and just like. Yeah,
I knew. My first time going over there, I was already maybe 24, maybe 22. Maybe not even out of, maybe 21. It was 2014, I think, the first time I went out there. And that was such an experience, just seeing it, seeing it in person. And, I watched a lot of Japanese TV shows, not only anime at that point, and, movies and things filmed in Japan. And just seeing it in person for the first time, being downtown Tokyo, seeing Shinjuku, seeing Shibuya, seeing, Harajuku, Akihabara, all that in person, just mind-blowing. The size of the buildings there. You think Toronto buildings are big?
Right.
These are...
skyscrapers.
Real skyscrapers. The building itself, the width of it is massive.
Isn't that kind of scary to see that many buildings that are that tall?
Oh, I don't look up.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't look up.
You know why? Why don't you look up?
Dude, if you look up at those buildings, I don't know if it happens to you, but what happens to me is my feet, it feels like I'm falling backwards, and
my god,
they're just so big that when you look up at that tall and try to focus at that point that's so far away,
right?
You're your feet just kind of
So it's like that Inception, the world goes backwards.
A little bit, just in your brain a little bit, and you're you try to catch your balance a little bit. Yeah, that happens to me. But
so what's worse, looking down or looking up for you?
I don't look down either. No, I don't look down either. No, I look exactly where I'm going.
Just keep looking straight.
Yeah, I don't mess with that.
That's crazy.
I've been at heights before. I don't mess with that. No.
So what's the average? What's the average floor for a building in Japan?
Oh, I wouldn't know that. No, but I would say if it's a office building, a skyscraper downtown Tokyo, maybe 300, 400.
Right.
Yeah, but that's not a lot. I feel like it could go way more than that in some buildings there. Yeah.
So how long were you there when you first went to Japan?
My first time there, I was supposed to stay 3 weeks.
Okay.
I only stayed 2 because of some personal stuff I had to deal with back home. I had to come back early.
Right.
But yeah, I stayed 2 weeks, and that was mind-blowing, dude. I didn't even have anything to do. I didn't even plan to do anything. I stayed at my friend's house. I paid him forget how much I paid him, a couple hundred, but it was way cheaper than a hotel, obviously, right? A few hundred a night for a hotel if I wanted one that doesn't have cockroaches and shit in it.
And that's when you started building your own network and your own connections out there, right?
Exactly, yeah. Now I stayed at my friend's house, who I already met in Toronto. He's a Japanese guy. He has his own house downtown Tokyo, so I stayed at his place, and after that's when I started making connections with different people there. And I decided to go back a few years later, and since then I've been going back every year, sometimes twice a year.
And so what made you live there for 2 years? Just talk about that a bit.
Yeah. So when that decided, I was having a hard time in Canada, just just finding myself as a person and everything, right? Finding who I wanted to be and all that, because I was at that age, right? I'm 24, 25 at that, no, 24 at that time, and just trying to figure out who I want to be in the future, right?
Right.
And I was like, you know what? To find that, I need to do what I always wanted to do, and I just need to live in Japan for a year, right? Turned out to be a bit longer than that, but yeah, it was great, man. It was awesome. It was such a snap decision. I didn't plan for it a lot.
And you regret nothing from that decision, right?
No, not at all. No, even if I failed in that thing, I wouldn't have regretted it. And I went there. Now I moved I was planning to move there a year later than I actually did, but what got me to like go there earlier was my girlfriend at the time, who was Japanese, living in Toronto, and she had her visa for working holiday visa, which is like a year-long stay. So her visa was ending, and I was like, I'm planning to go a year from now, but I could just go now, right? So that's what happened. I quit my job, and I went there with maybe like $120, right? I had $120 in my pocket, translated over to yen.
The commitment over there, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
And I landed there. I paid I paid my 2 months rent ahead of time, and then I paid. I bought some groceries, and after I bought groceries and like all the stuff I needed to basically survive for a bit, I had $120 left.
Wow.
And I got a job 3 days later, and I didn't apply for it beforehand. I just applied for it when I got there.
When you got there.
Yeah, I got a job 3 days later. And they didn't pay me for the first month.
I was gonna say, how did they not fuck you over in some way?
Yeah, they fucked me over really hard.
Oh
I got
my
it,
God.
and then I didn't get paid, so I worked a month for free.
Right.
Didn't get paid. I worked 8 hours a day. Didn't get paid, and then I quit and called the labor board. But you know,
How did you feel the first week being there?
The first week?
Just working and just realizing, holy shit, I might be fucked over.
No, because in that kind of job where you're a
Right.
teacher, I was an English teacher. So in that kind of job, they usually only pay you once a month.
Oh, okay.
So I was expecting my check at the end of the month.
Right.
They didn't pay me, so I quit. Now, I called the labor board, but Japanese labor board, Japanese company, right? So I was like just kind of on my own for that. Usually they're really good about it, but I just got unlucky, I guess.
Damn.
Yeah, no, like, disrespect to the Japanese labor board, you know? They do help a lot of my friends out there who
Right.
have been screwed over by some companies. But I just got unlucky. I did get a second job a few days after quitting. So, because I was already looking ahead of time, because I had a feeling. I just had a feeling. I didn't hear anything about my paycheck, and I just, had this doubt in my heart. So, I got a second job. They paid me right away because I told them what happened. So, they gave me an advance on my paycheck. They felt really bad for me. They gave me a 2 months advance. So I got 2 months payment in advance. I bought more stuff to like help me live and stuff because I just moved there, right? And then I was good after that. I worked full time as a teacher. Yeah.
Man, it sounds like you had a crazy time out there, bro.
Yeah. It was kind of, that was just me getting set up and moving there for the first time. But it was like a lot to deal with. So I wanted to get that out front. Like, it was a struggle just moving there, you know?
As also being like a foreigner out there to them, what was like something like did you ever have like trouble always dealing with the customs out there and just like trying to fit in, I guess, and trying to be accustomed to the things out there?
Now, when I did move there, I've already been there maybe 4 or 5 times before moving there. So I already knew like most of the things, and then I have a bunch of Japanese friends at that point who, we would talk about this kind of thing beforehand, so I did know a lot of the customs already, but there were a few things that definitely I did not know or were aware of at the time because no one told me or like corrected me at the time. They were my friends. They didn't want to be rude and like correct me, right? And like, but that's what I want from them, so they just didn't do it. So like listening to my music on the train, even though it's in headphones, but it was a little bit loud where someone could hear it if they were sitting beside me. You can't do that in Japan. Yeah, you can't do that. The train has to be like dead silent. You're not allowed to talk to your friends beside you more than a whisper volume, and you just have to be quiet on the train because the train itself is dead quiet. So people like to sleep on there. It's just respectful.
It's just like their way of living, right?
Yeah. So I was listening to my music pretty loud one day because it was after work. I was like tired going home, right? And this older Japanese man with he had like a white beard and everything, right? He just tapped me on the shoulder and said like he said it in English too. He's like, turn down. I said, oh, like sorry. I realized there's like 6 people looking at me. I'm like, oh shit, turn that shit down, sit down really fast.
And you know what's crazy? That's something like I like the fact that they do that out there because like it shows that it's respect for everyone around you.
Exactly.
It's like it's a common space that everyone's sharing.
Exactly.
So it's like have respect for people.
Yeah, they're all about that over there, and I learned a lot of that living over there compared to like like my living habits changed a lot while I was over
Right.
there and came back. And
Yeah, let's break them down. Like, what were the things that you took away from your Japanese way of living that you brought back to the Western side?
Don't leave oil all over your the stovetop.
Right.
Yeah. Or the old Japanese man in your house will yell at you. That's what I learned over there, I guess. Shout out to Masao,
Right.
my Japanese host over there.
Shout out to
Yeah.
you, Masao. I don't know who that is.
Yeah. He's a really cool guy, really awesome
Dope.
man. But
That's dope.
a lot of the time I would leave I would like cook and I wouldn't see it because it's dark, and then like he would come home, turn all the lights on, and he would see like the reflection. There's like oil all over the stovetop, and he'd be like, "Kyle, come here." Yeah.
Why is that? Just because like fire and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, just like just clean your space
Space,
after.
yeah.
Yeah, just clean up after
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
If you cook, now see what we do in Canada. A lot of the people, anyway, not everybody, but we cook and then we'll eat, and a few hours later, maybe that night before we go to bed, we'll come and clean up what we did. Right? See, you're not supposed to do that over there.
You're supposed to clean right away.
The second you're done, before you eat, maybe.
And that makes sense because it's like what you're not gonna think about anything else after you do it, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, after you're done eating, you don't want to go do that, right?
man, these are just like good habits. I feel like everyone needs to have.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah. I saw
Oh,
the value in it once I moved there and started living it for sure.
So the fact that they make you wash your dishes right after you eat, is it custom to have a dishwasher in every home?
No, they don't have dishwashers.
Okay, so they
Yeah.
do everything by hand.
Everything by hand.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Now only like the super, maybe not super rich, but like like the people who make a lot of money.
And like they have people to take care of them, like
Yeah,
you know?
some of them might have dishwashers in
Right.
like the brand new condo apartments that open up.
Right.
But most of the time, I've never seen a dishwasher in a Japanese home before.
Right.
Yeah, I've only seen it in like condos
wow.
that I've been in for like little parties and stuff. That's it. Yeah.
And in the space that you were living, was it just you, or was there other people that were from like?
Yeah, so it was a Japanese guy who owned the house, and he
Right.
stayed there most weeks. Every now and then he would go. He had two homes, so he had one where he kept his his family lived, and then he had one that he like rented out to foreigners, and he lived at the one with the foreigners most of the time because it was close to his work, and then he would go back to the other ones from time to time. But in the house itself was me and a German guy, and I think his name was Chris. Yeah, I'm pretty sure his name was Chris, and he was a really cool guy. He was huge. He was like 7'4" or something, and like not only was he big, like tall, but he was big too. He was like a huge guy. So
One thing, like I will speak on this, and like I'm not too familiar with the Japanese like whole culture, but from what I've seen and from what I've read, it seems like obedience is like one thing that they really like is really like something that's fed into them, obedience and just like
what do you mean obedience?
just like
To what?
like yourself, like don't act a fool, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
they're really
like self-control and like
it's not so. I don't think it's so much that. I think it's more. It's like obedience to yourself, like that, like self-control. But it's not for the good reasons that you think it would be.
Okay.
It's not like for self-respect, and it's not for that.
And what-
It's for not standing out or making a scene revolving around yourself because you don't want to stand out. It's a really bad stigma that they have over there, where they don't want to differentiate themselves from the other people around them. They don't want to stand out. And it's that drives that, which is really sad, because if it was just self-motivation that you want to better yourself, that would be awesome if that was the mentality there. But sadly, it's because they don't want to stand out, because standing out and being different over there is really bad.
But why is that? Like what like do you bring too much attention to yourself, or is it?
Yeah, like a lot of the schools over there, now they stopped doing this recently at a lot of schools, but
Right.
they still do it in a lot, especially private schools, is they ban people from having any hair color other than black.
Okay.
So if you're Japanese and you have just like brunette hair or like just slightly browner hair, you have to dye it black. If you're not Japanese and you're like, say, like a foreigner exchange student, you have to dye your hair black.
Why is that?
So you don't look different. That's what I'm saying. You don't want, like, the whole mentality over there is not to stand out.
And everyone has to abide by that.
Yes, exactly. Now, a lot of schools are changing that lately, especially in like the most recent like 3 years. A lot of schools have changed that, and I'm hoping that in the next 5 or 10 years it'll be completely gone.
But what's the fine? What's the fine if you don't? Like, do you get extra? Like, what are the
You're just not allowed to school until you change your hair.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, it's just the mentality over there of like everything being super strict and proper. But hopefully that changes because, you know, just like freedom of being yourself is a really important thing, right? And a lot of younger Japanese people are realizing that, and then a lot of like role models are advertising that lately.
Right.
So hopefully that changes.
Wow, so it's so much going on in a different part of the world that we don't even like. I don't even know about.
Yeah, you wouldn't know unless you lived there, to be honest.
You know, and like the tension, like from you also being a foreigner, you probably felt so much tension seeing that, and probably like, what the heck,
yeah,
you know, like just so much to go by. But that's also their culture, right? Like
exactly, you
like,
gotta adapt. You're not in your culture. You gotta, you know, it's like a lot of people would apologize to me for not speaking English.
Right.
When I ask them a question, I'm like, hi, like, if I can't say it in Japanese, I would ask them, like, do you speak English? But I would ask them in Japanese, and they would apologize, like, and say no. But I'm like, why are you apologizing, right? Like, I'm in Japan. You don't have to speak English, right? Like, I should apologize for not speaking, like, you know. Yeah, exactly. I'm not speaking Japanese. I should say sorry. Like,
that's crazy, bro. That's, like, mad. That's really mad, though. But how's your Japanese? Was Japanese good?
It was good. It's failing a lot now since I'm not practicing like I'm not speaking it every day now. So it's gone down a lot. But yeah, like Nihongo daijoubu desu. It's
what does that mean?
I can like Japanese is fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Cool. I'd be asking you for phrases, but I don't know what to toss.
It's all good. Yeah.
Like, how do they say I want food?
Tabatai.
Tabatai?
Yeah, like I'm hungry. I want food. Tabatai. Yeah.
Tabatai.
You just kind of say it like tabatai, like, yeah.
You're Bobby. If you're watching this, tabatai.
Now, if I'm saying that wrong, you know, shit. Yeah. It's how it is, right?
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
That's crazy, though. Wow. Okay. Man, yeah, Japan looks fun, man. Like, from what I've seen it from like Tokyo Drift, anime, you know, and all that stuff. Oh, yeah, I do have a question from watching Fast and the Furious, you know, like, and Tokyo Drift. Like, you know how they have elevators for the cars and stuff like that? Yo, is that actually like...
Oh, yeah, that's everywhere.
That's everywhere,
yeah, that's common. Yeah, that's like a regular thing. And they do it with bikes, too, like bike racks.
Have you ever seen a situation where, like, they've gone the wrong car, like, the wrong whatever? No.
It doesn't happen.
So everything's like...
It's Japan, dude. Yeah. Technology's gonna work over there. It's not gonna not work. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, they're like 10 years ahead of us or some shit, bro.
They got the shit that, you know, like, they'll release some stuff, release in Japan, and they'll release the old model to the world. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's like a crazy technology, I guess a crazy technology you've seen over there that you're like, wow, I wish. So,
there's this thing, I know, once you Google it and shit, you'll be like, oh, like, no shit, we don't have that. Yeah. But it's called the 001 Karatas. Okay. And it's, like, it's just a mobile suit. Like, you sit inside it, and you watch Pacific Rim, right? Mm-hmm. So you sit inside it, you close the hatch, and you just start piloting. It's got, like, arms, and it's got legs and everything. Mm-hmm. You can attach stuff to it, and, like, yeah.
Wait, how big is it?
Not as big as our house, but like,
okay.
It's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it has 4 legs on wheels, but the wheels are magnetized so it can go up and down stuff. And like it can go up like
Wow.
And
it's normal out there? Like people have that and
No. Now it's not available. It is available for the public to buy. Right. You're not allowed to export it, but because I did look at it. So you're not allowed to export it, right? But you can buy it if you live there, and it's obviously super expensive. It's a metal mobile suit, like it's super expensive. But I have seen it in like now they were just advertising it, but I have seen it like lift up buildings of like debris from like earthquakes and stuff. So they would attach like certain claws to it for like to grab and like lift roofs and stuff. So I have seen it used for that kind of thing. And they are working, although that is like a specific company who did it for like, when they made it, they attached like, you know, like airsoft Gatling guns and like things like that to like militarize it, and they just advertise it like that. But I have seen other companies copy that same like idea of like that same kind of mobile suit and use it towards lifting up like debris and like working on construction after earthquakes and stuff. And they have been doing that over there.
And that's something that's sold to the public? That's going to be available to the public and all that stuff?
Yeah, but mainly it's just like the government uses it. Yeah. And you can see videos of that going on after like earthquake cleanups and stuff if you YouTube it. I haven't looked for it on like English or North American YouTubes, but you can find it in Japanese YouTubes.
Wow. That's crazy, bro. Like, even shit like that, like, you know what
crazy
I mean?
tech, bro. Crazy tech.
Like, what's the craziest tech we have in Canada? Nothing, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, just normal, basic shit, you know?
The best I can say for Canada is, like, Elon Musk was Canadian. At some point, he lived in Canada. And Elon Musk, bro. Like, my boy Elon Musk.
Yeah. Whatever you did for Canada, cuz, we appreciate you.
He's American now, but he's
you know what I'm saying?
South African birth.
You know what I'm saying? South Africa. Shout out to my South Africans. You know what time it is. But yeah, that's crazy, bro. So how's the lifestyle out there? Like, compared to the nightlife and like just like all around like vibe culture.
Yeah.
You know, like, what is the scene out there? You know, like,
man, it's like like it's something else, man. This one night, I'm gonna go over like a one night just to give you a vibe of like how it is.
Right,
there.
let's talk. Yeah, tell me.
So
about
this
that.
is one of my last nights in Japan. Like, I had like a going away party.
Right.
Now, so.
You fill me up?
Oh yeah, here you go. You want me to get ice?
No, I'm good.
I'm gonna grab some water.
I bet. Sorry guys, just a little intermission out here. Please just intermission out here real quick. Hope you guys are good, by the way. Just a quick message from the urban legend himself. I've been thinking a lot about you guys. I hope you guys are safe, washing your hands, really doing that whole social distance bullshit, because listen, hey, I know it's been hot outside, I know it's been nice outside, but no one wants to be outside right now, man. No one wants to touch you, no one wants to hug you, no one wants to look at you, no one wants to see you, man. So please, just do everybody a great big favor and let this stop. You know what I'm saying? I do just want to shout out once again to the sponsors of this video, Glenn Fittage. I'm gonna quickly show the webcam real quick. You see it, huh? But yeah, no. Also, I do want to as we're intermission a bit. There's a quick message to all my people that are doing this quarantine. I hope you guys are really taking the time to self-reflect and really trying to do things that are you and not someone else. You know, I hope you guys are diving into your reality and not someone else's reality, and that you guys are focusing on your future, not someone else's future. One thing that really, I really been thinking about this whole entire quarantine was just, how do I put myself in a position to make everyone else around me better and, able to feed off what I'm doing. And that's by first making sure I establish myself in the things that I want to pursue first. And that are the things that I need to accomplish, which is graduating school, getting a career job, or, creating my hobbies into something that could possibly put me in a position where I am doing, something I did for fun for others, So once again, whether that's music, art, painting, whatever it is you guys are used to, building shit, do that and work on that, because once again, if you guys are just watching, binging, TV shows, and that's all you're doing, and you're trying to find things to do, man, I'm gonna let you know, read a book, take a couple online courses. It never hurts to take online courses and learn something new, because there's always something new to learn. But once again, there's a quick message to my people. Kyle's coming back. I hope you guys are well once again, and please do not go outside if you don't need to. because you gotta social distance. You got the ice?
You gotta stay safe. No, you say you don't want any.
Huh?
You said
Oh
you
no,
don't
I did want the ice. My bad. We got another intermission. But yeah, this is a real raw, uncut, unedited. I'm gonna try not to make these webcam podcast episodes edited, because editing the audio on top of cutting out the audio from the video and trying to, it's it's just a headache. It's a headache. So
you can timestamp it, man. Yeah, people can follow the timestamps if they really want to skip stuff. Yeah.
Like, listen, skip the motherfucking thing if you don't want to listen to it.
Exactly.
I ain't got time for this shit to edit. Like, editing is for fools that want to get. Listen, I know it's quality over quantity, right? Yeah, it's quality over quantity, but for me right now, it's quantity over quality.
You gotta have that real stuff, man. Gotta have the real stuff. All right, I'm back, everyone. I'm back.
He's back.
All right. So I'm gonna go over that night. You want to spark up or you want to wait?
Yeah, we can spark up here. But yeah, we can. Let's actually spark up while you talk about it.
Yeah, sure. So.
Jill, later.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, right here. All right, yeah. So the night started. It started pretty good. It was my last night there, or not my last night, but my going away party, and we started off at the bar I used to work at. I'll go over that at some point, but I used to work at this bar there, and we had our last dinner there. I invited all my friends. There was like I invited about like 16 people. About like 14 showed up. Even some friends from Canada who were visiting at the time. One of them's American actually, but one of them's Canadian, and they were visiting at the time. So they even came to my going away party, which was awesome because I haven't seen them in years, But God, I missed weed while I was over there, man. Holy shit.
You can't even find weed out there, can you, huh?
I was offered.
You offered?
I was offered.
But weren't you sketched out, though, if you're offered weed?
No.
Isn't that kind of sketchy? No.
You look like a drug dealer. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
you're like,
okay.
yeah. He had, you can, okay, straight up, if you're walking around Tokyo, downtown Tokyo, and you see people with the tattoos, with kanji or katakana on their fingers, they're Yakuza.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was
the Yakuza gang, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all over Japan. It's
right.
the Japanese gang.
Yeah.
So they're all over. So yeah, you can find them all over the place in Tokyo. Like they're everywhere.
Right. Are they intimidating though? Like when you or some of them?
No, because if you're there, I guess they would be intimidating if you're Japanese. But if you're a foreigner, they're not looking to rob you. They're not looking to do anything like that. They're just looking to like, do you want money? Do you want girls? Do you want like that? They're doing that kind of thing, right?
Applying
they're doing
services to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Services that like you shouldn't do. Yeah. So I just said no because
backdoor services.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm not trying to do that, right? I'm trying to live my years there and then go home. The Japanese system for crimes, like, is it the judicial system? What is it called?
I have no idea, bro.
Anyway, the system, the system for like the law and shit for like doing crimes and all that, it's messed up over there. They haven't. I know I'm trying to get with my story about like what I did that night, but
we're gonna keep going on.
Straight up, they have a 99. I don't know if it's still 99%, but they have a 99% conviction rate.
Wow.
It's the highest in the world.
So for anything, like whatever you like,
even if you're not guilty, they convict you because they just pressure you to say you did it just to get off with like something, even if it's just like a 1 year or like 6 month sentence.
Yeah. They
just need the conviction to have that high percentage to stay on top of the world conviction rate.
Bro, that sounds degrading.
It's fucked up, dude.
That sounds so degrading, and it's like
it's really hard for them to get foreigners
right.
in prison because, especially Americans or Canadians, like North American people, because we'll just say like, no, like I didn't do that. I'm not admitting to something. Like we would never admit to something in a criminal case that we would never do, that we didn't do, right? We wouldn't do it. It's just not something that North American people would do.
That's crazy though. But yeah, going back to your story about this one night club, before we divert away from that.
Yeah, sorry. I just got into that like drug thing about buying drugs over there. So I was offered weed after we sparked up.
Mm-hmm.
So So we had dinner, and it was awesome. My the bar I used to work at, they provided the food. We paid I want to say 2,000 yen each, which is about 18 American dollars. So
Okay.
what's that Canadian? Like 15 Canadian?
Something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty much if you want to look for like the difference between yen, it's about like 1,000 yen is 10 American dollars. So
Okay.
it's just like you take away a zero and then it's that in American dollars. So yeah, we had dinner. I paid for everybody, and then I paid for the entire party because I was going away. I just wanted everyone to have a good time. So I paid for everybody, and then the bar, once they realized I paid for everybody, they took off half the payment.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know. They're so nice, dude. I love those
Damn.
guys. They're so
Were
nice.
you a regular out there?
I worked there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Word. Okay.
So I was a regular and I worked there.
And you worked there. Okay, that's dope.
I worked there for free, so I could drink for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, my payment would be like a few thousand yen, and then I would just like give it to them because I drank during my entire shift.
Yeah.
So,
That's dope, bro. Wow. Okay.
I was just drinking, serving drinks, and like talking with people.
Bro, I could just imagine just the
Sweet.
like the night. Oh, everything. You know.
So this is a really chill bar with like a restaurant and everything. It's like a pub kind of ideal. But we had dinner there, and then we went to the club. Now this club is
there like girls in cages and all that shit? You know, go-go dancers or whatever they used to call them.
not the club that I went to, but I have been to like that shit
Yeah,
in Tokyo. I went to those.
Yeah.
But the club we went to is owned by my buddy Kelly.
Right.
We call him Big Kelly, and he's I don't want to say the country he's from because I'm not exactly sure, but he's North African, and he owns this club downtown Tokyo.
Shout out to Big Kelly.
Yeah, Big Kelly, man. Oh, I can't wait to see you,
Shout out to
buddy.
you, cuz.
Yeah. So we went to his place, and dude, we had such a great night, man. We ordered just bottles of champagne and everything. Like we had full bottles of like just whiskey and rum, just all like all over all the tables, and I was just like everybody who came in, even people I didn't know, I was just like letting them drink and everything, right? So we had a great time. Got hammered, played a lot of darts, went for food, came back, just like drank a bunch of times. A lot of Japanese girls came, and it was
You had to go big that night.
had to, yeah. So it was a good time.
That's crazy, bro.
And people like showing up and inviting their friends because it was such a crazy party and everything. We had two DJs. They were like switching in and out and everything. It was awesome.
Do people party hop a lot out there? Like go from one party to another,
yeah.
Just like throughout the
7
night.
days a week.
Yeah, throughout the night till like 7 a.m. type
Yeah.
of thing. Not till 2, till 7 a.m. or something like that. You know?
Oh no, till like the next night if you want.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to stop. You can just
Right.
keep going because bars are open 24. They're not 24/7, but they'll rotate. One bar will be open till 2, and then one bar will be open till like 4 p.m. And
So
then you can go to
regardless,
the
there's
other one.
always gonna be something open.
always,
you know?
always in walking distance.
Right. Damn, bro. So regardless, you're always in continuous turn up mode.
Always go into the
Damn.
next place.
Damn.
Always
damn,
in
damn,
walking
damn.
distance. You can drink in public in Japan.
Right.
So you just leave the bar. You go to your next place, have a smoke break outside.
Right.
You go to the fucking 7-Eleven. You buy a beer, drink outside while you're having a smoke. You can drink in public. Doesn't matter. So, and then you just go to the next bar once you're done your drink and smoke.
So how can you drink in public but not and be still personally be convicted? How the fuck does that work?
Well, no, it's legal to drink in public. in
Oh, it
Japan.
is?
Yeah, it's legal.
But is it legal to get drunk?
In public?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get drunk in public. You just can't act a fool. If you act a fool while you're drunk in public, that's the problem. But if you handle your shit and you just like, you're a little bit drunk and you're walking around, you're good.
And that's what I meant. I guess drunk was meant acting a fool. Like,
Yeah, no, you'll be arrested. But that's just
Yeah.
because you're acting a fool. You're like, if you're being stupid, you'll be arrested even if you're sober. Because you're just fucking disturbing the peace.
That's crazy, bro. Holy crap.
So yeah, and then, okay, this is the best part of the night, dude. On the way back, I'm like beyond hammered. It's like 6 a.m. The sun's coming up, right? I'm like walking home like this, right? Maybe 5 a.m. because the sun's still down, but it's dark out, but the sun's coming up.
It's rising.
I live behind a mountain, so I live behind this famous mountain in Tokyo, so it's huge, and like the sun takes a while to actually come up. But yeah, so I'm walking home, and like I'm dying for a smoke at this point. I still smoke cigarettes at this point, and I'm dying for a smoke, and I could have just. I'm walking on like a back path, so I can't really divert off to get one. And then I happen upon these like 4 Japanese dudes who are just like sitting or standing around a bench playing some like low, like it's high volume, but it's like a slow beat, like just like a beat, and they're all like freestyle rapping, taking turns around this beat. And me, drunk as fuck, I just stumble up. I'm like, hey! And I just start like singing along, rapping along with them, just freestyling shit that I can't even remember. Like it was probably I'm honestly 100% sure it was just nonsense. It was like a mix of like English and Japanese, and just like saying 2 words and then yeah over and over again, then 2 more words and yeah.
Just trying to impress them, you know, trying to do whatever you
just
can.
Just trying to have fun,
you know
man.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, just trying to have fun. And then like they offer me a cigarette, I have a cigarette, and then like I stay there for like another 20 minutes, have a cigarette with them, continue just like having fun, and then I just walk the rest of the way home. But like that's what it's like over there, man. If you're having a good time and other people are having a good time, they'll just be like, yeah, come on over. Yeah. Like, yeah, you're like, oh, you want to join us? Sure. Like, you want to have a drink with us while we're like also having shots? Yeah, sure. Like, everybody's so friendly over there, man. If you're having a good time and they're having a good time, it's all good. Everybody just wants to be your friend, and like, if not be your friend, just like, you know, in that moment, just be like, oh, like, cheers, like, nice to meet you. It's like that over there. The whole vibe is like that.
Sounds like hospitality out there is like, you know, like really good.
Yeah,
shit,
and it's like that even when people are like at a bar, you know, just like drinking and like with their friends and stuff. You still are like that around other people.
Right.
I went to a bar another night with some other friends, and we ended up playing a drinking game, just our table. It was like 4 of us, and we got 2 other tables beside us. We had like 12 people all playing the same drinking game with us by the end of it. Just because and they're all like random Japanese people that we never met before. And it's just like that over there, man.
So how are your connections out there? Are your connections good? Like, is everyone like, you know, like wanting you, like, you know, do people want you to work for them? And
yeah,
stuff
I got if I go back, I have like 3 jobs waiting for me.
Okay, hook me up, cuz.
Yeah. So, and if, dude, no problem, man.
With architecture, bro.
Oh, I can't do that. Yeah. I got like, I could get a bar.
I thought you plugged like that, bro.
No, I could get 2 bar jobs if I wanted.
Yeah.
And then I could get a teaching job at this specific school.
So all you gotta get is like just a work permit out there, right? And then just go out there. I feel that.
Yeah.
Damn, Japan, bro.
You get if you're under 30, you get a working holiday visa. You only need high school for that.
That's crazy. So how long did you teach for? By the way, you said you were teaching earlier, and I was trying to get up to that.
Yeah, so I was an English teacher over there.
Damn.
I did that for the majority of the time. Yeah, sorry, I talked away from the mic for a second. I was an English teacher over there, and I did that for the majority of the time.
That was dope. You have a good time doing it?
Like, while I was teaching, yes, the best time. Mm-hmm. Dealing with the company that I worked for, horrible.
Yeah.
But the actual teaching job, dude, I would do it in a heartbeat again. Mm-hmm. No problem.
What was the age? Sorry, before I cut you off, what was the age that you were teaching?
Most of my students at the beginning were between the ages, I want to say like 3 to 8, 3 to 8 years old. I taught like a bunch of different classes between those age groups. Now I also did teach this one toddler class once a week that was like ages 1 and 2. But it was just me like showing shapes to them and just being like circle. So, and I just did that like 5 times, and like, you know, I just showed them shapes or fruit and said that. But it was just to get them used to hearing the word before they hit like 3 or 4 and start taking an actual English lesson every week, right?
That's crazy. Taught, wow, especially young kids, you know, and they learn fast. So some of the 6 or 8 year olds,
knew more English than the high school students that I taught later.
That was crazy. Wow. So what made you want to teach though out there, especially? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I just
Be
really like kids.
Right.
To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
like I've always just really liked kids, and well, maybe not always. You know, I was a high school student at one point, right? So, but yeah, I always liked kids, and I just, if I can teach and like be around kids and like, when you're teaching little kids, man, and you're
Right.
just acting excited all the time, even if you're having a bad day, you just act excited in the class, dude. Their reactions are the best, man.
Right.
They love it. All the excited shit that you do, like that doesn't make sense, that adults would not do. Like they love that stuff,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You just act silly in front of them while teaching them English. They learn everything. They repeat everything to you perfectly, and they like laugh and have fun at the same time. So because they're having fun and laughing, they'll go home and they'll remember that course. They'll remember what they said and learned, but then they'll also remember that they had fun. So like them having fun makes them remember it later in the future, being like, oh, I really like that class.
Right.
What did I learn there? Right. So it's a good teaching tool if you just like have fun with your students and not just like be boring and just try to teach them English.
Wow. Some good shit, Kyle, bro. That's crazy, man. Teaching out there, especially abroad, get whole like a different perspective of culture.
Yeah.
Not just that, but you also like you're involved in the culture. You know what I mean? You're teaching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy, bro. And I definitely tip out like I put my head off to you,
Thanks.
bro, for that shit, man.
Yeah, I would sometimes I would see the parents or even my students with their parents like out while I'm out shopping or like just out and about.
Yeah.
I would see them and they would like come up to me and say hi, and the kids would be like, oh, like Kyle Sensei, like hello. Yeah.
Sensei Kyle. Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Got later.
Yo, so what is the sensei part? Every time, you know how they say sensei after a name?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? Like, what does that mean, though?
Now like a good translation would just be teacher, but exactly I would say like instructor for anything. If they're teaching you how to do anything, it's they're considered like sensei.
Right.
So anything where you're learning from somebody, they are considered like sensei pretty much. Unless it's like your job and they're just like they're senior, like they've been there a bit longer than you and they're teaching you how to work, then it's not sensei then. But that's just san, like S-A-N.
Yeah.
San.
And
Yeah.
sensei comes after your name, right?
Yes, Kyle Sensei.
It's Kyle Sensei.
Yeah, Sensei Kyle. Like I know a lot of people do that, and like Westerners do that, Sensei Kyle, but like
Right.
it's people don't usually do that. It's always the name and then Sensei.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I guess the Chinese one, Sifu, that does come before the name.
What does Sifu mean, though?
Same
that's
thing,
same
same
thing.
thing.
Oh.
But I think Sifu is meant for like martial arts instructor.
Okay, so more of
Yeah. Because my Sifu, he was Sifu John Liao, and Liao was, that guy's nuts.
So when are you gonna go back to Japan?
I love that guy. He's crazy. I was supposed to be there now. Well, I was supposed to be there coming home last week. So that kind of sucks. This maybe like I'm gonna wait for COVID to end, like the quarantine thing to end. I'm gonna see how Japan is. I'm gonna wait 2 months after I think Japan is good.
Right.
After 2 months of Japan being good in my mind, then I'm gonna go.
That's good.
There's not a lot of news on Japan right now, for like outside countries to see. It's really like they just don't advertise what's going on there with COVID. They do advertise it to Japanese people, like they know full well, but they don't advertise it outside Japan. So I just ask them how it is, and they just tell me.
That's great.
1 out of 10.
Yo, by the way, that meat that you made the other day was bomb as shit.
Oh, the
bro.
tonkatsu?
Yeah, the tonkatsu. Yo, that.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what tonkatsu is, like look that up. It's super easy to make. Takes like 20 minutes maybe, but yeah, like he says, oof, yeah.
Especially when I seen you mixed it with the rice and the
Oh, the rice and the egg and the onions, yeah.
Yo, I'm a foodie. You know what I'm gonna do? Listen, everyone that's watching right now, comment below if you know my socials, if you know my number personally. Hit me up. I had an idea to actually do a food a food like sort of channel and go around critiquing like different like restaurants, you know? What do you think about that, Kyle?
I think I would join you on every one of those.
You know what I'm saying?
I would
bro?
join you
'Cause,
on
like,
every one of those for
so
sure.
yo, listen, let me know if you think it's a yes. Don't even comment, just hit me up on my number or whatever it is, you know. For everyone else, you know, I'll put my email and my socials down there. But yeah, yo, food.
I'd be there all
say
the time.
that. How do you say it again?
Tonkatsu.
Tonkatsu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tonkatsu.
cuz
Yeah.
that shit was fire.
Yeah.
But either way, listen, everyone, cheers. Kyle, listen, this was a good episode.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna end this one right here because I can't go no further. I appreciate every one of you for ever coming back on here. You know, there's more of this. Don't ever stop looking at this channel. If you see me, you don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna catch you guys later, bro.
Have a good night.
Have a good
Thanks for
night.
listening.
It's an urban legend.